If you had a vision telling you that Jesus was the Son of God, wouldn't you immediately want to go and talk to the disciples who were actually with him, who knew him, who sat at his feet, who knew his message? I know I certainly would. And if I'd have been Paul, I would have dashed straight to Jerusalem to find out all about Jesus. But Paul didn't. This is what he writes. I did not go up to Jerusalem to see those who were apostles before I was, but I went into Arabia. Later, I returned to Damascus. It's as if he's got no interest in the historical Jesus at all. And that actually is borne out in his epistles, isn't it? How many times does he quote Jesus' sayings? None. How many miracles does he talk about? None. How many post-resurrection stories does he talk about? One. And that's not in the Gospels. So he actually doesn't seem to be interested at all in the historical Jesus. And what's worse, he doesn't seem interested in the message that Jesus gives us in the Gospels. In the Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark and Luke, Jesus is preaching a very social gospel, looking after the poor, caring for people. Well, Paul does say a little bit about love, but that's not the centre of his message. His message is all about the faith in Jesus. Very different. He does make some contact with the disciples. After 3 years, I went up to Jerusalem to get acquainted with Peter and stayed with him 15 days. I saw none of the other apostles, only James, the Lord's brother. This reinforces it. He spent time with Peter, well, very nice, but wouldn't you want to see all the eyewitnesses, all the people who talked to Jesus, listen to their perspective so that you understood it properly? I certainly would. So why didn't Paul? It's as if he thought he was right, and it didn't matter what the historical Jesus said or did. How bizarre.
It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it